news right here on the Weather Channel, the Hurricane Authority. Now, your local on the 8s.
The National Weather Service has issued a weather bulletin. Our local Doppler radar. For tonight, windy with rain, heavy at times, low 64, winds north-northeast at 25 to 35 miles per hour. And on Tuesday, windy with morning showers, high 70, chance of rain 50%. And Tuesday night, partly cloudy skies with gusty winds, low 58, winds north at 20 to 30 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
And as the storm weakens, I can tell you one thing, guys. You rarely see the winds pick up as it approaches the shoreline, but we are seeing that tonight. Gusts all the way from the Alabama coastline into the Florida Panhandle now continue to be very strong, and they're staying up too on the Florida east side. So a very widespread infield with a tropical system that at least has continued to transition into extratropical. So that means we've got a strong wind field in a much larger area as opposed to right around the center. I want to bring in my colleague Mike Seidel, who's been over there in Bay St. Louis for a good part of the day. And Mike, you know, even though your rains have tapered off, you seem to have experienced a little change in the wind here recently, haven't you?
Well, yeah, it is beginning to back around now more to the northeast than the east-northeast. We had an east wind for a couple of days. That piled the water up. And these winds, well, this umbrella has seen better weather. This thing blew in from somewhere. I don't know, an east wind probably blew in from, gosh, I don't know, Tampa Bay. And look at this, shredded to pieces. Fortunately, about the only damage we've seen, at least in our eye shot from where we are right here on the bay. Behind me is the bridge over Highway 90. Now, this was taken out by Katrina over 5 years ago. It took more than a couple of years to get it reopened. And there are a few vehicles going across it. It's open, and we don't expect that to shut down. Checking out the rainfall totals as of an hour ago. Gulfport, Keesler, about 9/10 of an inch. You can assume now they're over an inch of rain. Pascagoula's had over an inch of rain. But the rainfall totals at these three areas have averaged about 1/3 of an inch an hour. So far, at least up until 8 o'clock local time, we had not seen anything approaching an inch or even 2 inches an hour. That gives a chance the water to kind of run off and get into the drainage system. That's good there. As far as Bay St. Louis goes, we were out and about today. As the water came up over the past couple of days, this long fetch of easterly wind, high to the north, that's supplying this dry, cool air, which is eating away at Ida, and the storm approaching from the south. And you can see the water rises over around the shoreline area. Some of these houses seeing water in the yards, but as you can see, the houses are up on stilts. Water rise tonight at Waveland, not far from here, has topped out at about 4 feet above average. Meanwhile, the mayor today talking to us, turned the calendar over to November thinking, okay, it's November, we're done with the hurricane season. Well, he had second thoughts today. Well, the mayor was not at a loss for words, trust me, but he told us that, you know, they thought they had dodged a bullet. They thought they were, you know, they were going to get through the season without anything, and boom, this appears, but they're going to be okay. The thing that's going on right now is the fact that the continuation continues from Katrina. They're still doing projects. In fact, right on the street where I am, they're putting in a new sewage system. Hey, the mayor is back. Let's hear from him now.
We started celebrating a little bit too soon. You know, we celebrated that we didn't have even any kind of event this summer. But of course, here as we prepare for Thanksgiving, we're having our first event. But it's a good time to test some of the new systems and some of the new programs, and it's a little wake-up call. You know, these things do still happen, and they come at unexpected times of the year, and we always have to be ready to react.
And there you go. You know, you can't write off the season. It's not over till it's over. You know who said that. Meanwhile, Jim, tonight the wind eventually will go offshore. That'll blow the water back out into the Gulf. We're looking good tomorrow here. We'll have wind in the morning, and it'll be a breezy day, but the rain will be out of here in a few hours, and schools are open tomorrow. Back to you.
Absolutely, Mike. Definitely a big change in the wind there, and a big help for you. And by the way, buddy, as long as I've been watching you, that would not be the first time that you have left a mayor speechless, by the way.
Oh, I remember the Virginia Beach mayor. I remember her words.
That's right.
I quote you.
And the one before that, and the one before that.
You know what she said to me? We were out holding on to each other in Virginia Beach. Oh, gosh, I think it was Irene, and I don't know, it was back in '03, and she's huddled against me, and she said, Mike, I don't know what they pay you guys, but it's not enough. And I said, say that a little bit louder. Jim, back to you.
Settle, you definitely have an eye and an ear for the drama, that's for sure, guys. And speaking of the drama, Mike, have you ever remembered a time where you've covered a snowstorm where there were 40-inch amounts of snow where you covered it, and this, of course, is Denver a couple of weeks ago, and then went on to cover a tropical system after that?
20 years, almost 20 years. This is the first time I've seen this. Let's take you back to 2 weeks ago. We've dug up the video as promised. This is Genesee, Colorado, in the foothills off to the west of Denver. 38 inches in this particular location. One location had 44. And look at what I'm dealing with. Same kind of position, crouched against winds gusting over 30, 35 miles an hour. But instead of being 65 degrees, it's about 15, and the wind chill's down around 0. Snow hammering my face on that Friday morning, the day before Halloween, back on the 30th of October. Today, Jim, it's a whole different animal, although a sign that it is the change of the seasons. As temperatures are cooler, the dry air is eating away at Ida as this becomes extra tropical, non-tropical, and moves towards the coast, although, as you mentioned, not moving as fast as it was, something we'll be watching overnight. But here in Waveland and here in Bay St. Louis, this rain will be backing off in the next couple of hours. Back to you, Jim.
All right, Mike said that, ladies and gentlemen. Another thing Mike's added to his career is he is not ever, my friends, at a loss for words.